Coming up next on Good Morning Texas, our student body president speaks on the Young Conservative Bake Sale.
How the LGBTQ plus community is gaining representation.
And how ballet is becoming more gender inclusive.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas.
Good morning, Texas. I'm Emily Craycraft.
And I'm Avery Tanner. Welcome to Good Morning Texas on this great Wednesday morning.
Can you believe that the first semester of the school year is almost over?
I can't believe it. This year has completely flown by.
I must admit I am a freshman, so this has been my first semester of college, and based on how much fun it's been so far, I am so thankful that I have 7 semesters left.
The fun thing about UT is there's always something going on campus, and last week, a protest erupted against a bake sale held by the Young Conservatives of Texas. The group sold baked goods at different prices depending on the buyer's ethnicity and gender to protest affirmative action. The chairman of the group released a statement saying, "It is insane institutional racism, such as affirmative action, that judges students by the color of one's skin rather than actions." Our student body president, Kevin Helgren, made a statement.
So earlier this afternoon, Young Conservatives decided to host a bake sale. And in that bake sale, they created a sign that put financial values on certain groups of people based on race and ethnicity. That is, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the majority of the student body, inherently racist. Students who disagreed with the bake sale and students who were in support of affirmative action decided to come and very peacefully protest the bake sale. I think we need to keep a couple of things in mind. Institutionalized racism exists, and affirmative action as a policy helps us fight that. Inherent privilege comes for people like me, white cisgendered males, and affirmative action helps to fight that. It helps to even the playing field. And the last thing I want people to realize is that the quality of an education here at the University of Texas hinges on and is informed by the differences that our peers bring forth both within and beyond the classroom. Affirmative action helps us recruit a more talented and diverse student body, and trying to suggest that it doesn't is pretty disheartening.
I was actually on campus throughout the protest. It was so interesting.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, I walked to class and I saw the affirmative action bake sale, and there wasn't a protest going on yet. And then once I got out of class, there were at least 100 people out there protesting.
Wow, and we all know what happened after that. In other Austin news, the City of Austin created a new position to include members of the LGBT community in local government. Ashley Sow went to find out more.
Austin is home to Texas's largest LGBT community, comprising 5.3% of the city's population. However, there are few government-designated LGBT representatives in Austin. Soon, this community will have one more official place at the table. The newest LGBT representative, Solis Ruff, will serve in the Joint Inclusion Committee, an organization to promote equity in government. Ruff's nomination must be approved by City Council this Thursday.
If appointed, Ruff wants to focus on areas specific to the LGBT community that others may not understand.
So it's a much bigger voice if we have one of our community or someone in the minority community inside representing us.
Austin citizens widely support equality for all sexualities, but this may contribute to the low number of LGBT representatives.
Because of the favorable reputation, they might not think that it's necessary to formalize those types of representation.
Mayor Adler pushed for the creation of an LGBT Quality of Life Commission last week. However, some say representation isn't enough.
So I think the city could do a better job of making sure that we have on boards and commissions that we are being as inclusive as possible, that every council member who may not be representing a gay neighborhood per se, like they might be in Dallas or Houston, would in fact say, hey, you know, when I look at all my boards and appointments, am I including people from the LGBTQ community?
Advocates say overall, Austin supports the LGBT community well, but there's always more to be done.
Ashley Tall, Good Morning Texas.
You know, it is so great that we live in a city that's trying to include all groups.
Yes, and if this issue is important to you, it's another reason to get out there and vote for the local things on the bill.
I completely agree. I mean, I feel like this election season has definitely been clouded by the presidential election, but it's so important to remember who's going to be representing you locally and get out there and cast your ballot.
Exactly. And in other news, it's no secret that there's a lack of boys when it comes to the arts. Our Jillian Gayer looks into what dance studios are doing to tighten the gender gap.
A year of dance classes at a prestigious ballet school could cost up to $2,000, but not for everyone. Ballet Austin, along with most dance studios across the country, waives tuition for boys to encourage them to take classes.
It's difficult for guys as they're going through school to say they're in middle school that they're going off to ballet class.
But that's exactly what 15-year-old Elliot Moulton does every day.
It's fun being different, and I like to stand out.
This is what many dance classes look like. Behind me, there are 19 girls and just one boy. Piner says this is pretty standard for the lower levels, but professional companies require an equal number of males and females.
When you get to partnering class, if you don't have any boys, you can't have partnering class.
While the scholarship program helps alleviate the cost, boys who ditch their cleats for ballet slippers pay in other ways.
Getting boys to be interested in ballet and to pull them away from other sports and activities is difficult, just from a social perspective.
Ballet student Scarlett Zernak says she asked her twin brother to try dance, but he quickly shot the idea down.
Maybe because he thought the boys at school would make fun of him.
Social stigma aside, free tuition is what convinced Heather Culkin to sign her 3 sons up for ballet.
It allows people who can pay to pay by donation, and people who can't pay to still be able to participate.
Ballet Austin plans to continue recruiting boys by offering all-boys classes and providing other incentives. Jillian Gayer, Good Morning, Texas.
Your top news stories and a look at this week's weather forecast when we come back.
Stay here for more Good Morning, Texas. Welcome back to Good Morning, Texas. We have Isabel Miller in our News and Weather Center this morning. What's the latest in the news, Isabel?
The FBI is taking a new look at Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton's illegal email accusations. They obtained a warrant to begin searching Clinton's emails and are scrambling to finish their work under intense public pressure to assess their significance before Election Day. The FBI Director, James B. Comey, faced extraordinary criticism after he sent an ambiguous letter to congressional leaders, telling them that agents had discovered new emails. Early voting turnout in Travis County reached a record high. The Travis County Elections Division opened a major mobile early voting location in north central Austin, the center of local electoral excitement. As of Sunday, over 220,000 ballots were cast in Travis County. There were over 117,000 votes in 2012, this same time, and over 156,000 votes in 2008. The new election at the Greater Austin Merchants Cooperative Association Center will be open for the remaining 3 days of early voting. Members of more than 90 Native American nations have converged on Standing Rock in North Dakota since April to protest against the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Protesters say the pipeline would jeopardize the tribe's water supply and threaten sacred tribal sites. A Facebook post went viral on Monday asking people to check into the protests in North Dakota after the Morton County Sheriff's Department said they would be using Facebook check-ins to target people at the protest camp. In order to overwhelm and confuse law enforcement, more than 1 million people have checked into the Standing Rock Indian Reservation. The origin of the message is unknown, but is spreading quickly.
Thanks, Isabel. This is crazy. This Dakota Access Pipeline story has gotten so big, and I've even seen some of my friends on Facebook post about being at the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Wow, that is really remarkable. I've actually heard that this has gotten so much publicity, and I think a big reason for that is Shailene Woodley, who has that celebrity status, was actually arrested for helping these protesters and being there. So it's amazing what one celebrity can do and how it can help such a great cause.
And especially because her arrest was actually live streamed. And in fact, she said that that's why her arrest happened in the first place, because she was putting so much publicity on the event.
Wow, it's crazy what technology can do. So what's the weather looking like for this week?
The middle of this week starts out a little rainy. Wednesday will have a high of 84 and a low of 69 with a 30% chance of thunderstorms. That chance goes up on Thursday to 50%, reaching a high of 80 and a low of 66. Friday and Saturday finally bring a little bit of sunshine back to Austin, Texas. Friday will have a high of 81 and a low of 61, and Saturday will have a high of 80 and a low of 58. The rain comes back on Sunday with a 20% chance of thunderstorms, a high of 78 and a low of 59. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Isabel.
Don't go anywhere. Election Day is coming up, and we've got Jillian Gayer in the studio to talk politics. Stay with us. There's less than 1 week until Election Day, and early voting is underway. Many Texas counties are reporting record-breaking turnout rates. Turnout is so high in Travis County that the Elections Division had to open new voting locations in central Austin. Our political reporter, Jillian Gayer, went out to see what issues are motivating UT students to hit the polls.
I care about the relations between the Black community and police, specifically like police brutality and things that are going on in inner cities.
I'm big on women's rights. I feel that they should have the choice to do what they want with their bodies, whether it's abortion or anything else.
School tuition has been kind of crazy lately, so whoever's the president, I hope that they can lower that for all students.
Income inequality, because this country's problems are mostly faced on that one issue.
Making sure that everyone gets an equal say in who's elected and what policies go through is very important.
Immigration rights. I think that it's kind of controversial right now and there's a lot of bad feelings going around, but I think we need to remember that the most important thing is to be inclusive, and that being inclusive and being diverse makes us better as a society.
So the students seem to care about a broad range of issues, but over the past few weeks, both campaigns have been clouded with controversy. Do you think the issues are informing most people's votes, or is it more about temperament and ethics?
Well, what we have here is two extremely well-known candidates with high negatives. Clinton coming as the first woman, female, general election candidate, and Trump with no political experience at all, comes from a background of celebrity. So people want them to talk about the issues because of their unique situations, and they did a little bit during the third debate with Chris Wallace. But these scandals are coming into play, and they could be game changers. Clinton with the email case being reopened, and Trump with these sexual assault allegations. There's a lot of talk about those things, but people who are reluctant are still talking about embracing their parties because there's a Supreme Court opening, and a lot of people are talking, will it be conservative or a conservative appointee, and that is persuading a lot of people to vote with their party.
Right, that's definitely a huge driving factor for people going to the polls. So let's talk a little bit about polling. What are experts predicting at this point, and is Texas really a swing state?
Well, according to Real Clear Politics, the race is extremely tight. Trump at 45, Clinton at 47. So that's a 2-point race that's within the margin of error. It could go either way, kind of even depending on the day. Reports that Texas is a swing state, I would say probably not, just because in the 2012 election there were times where Obama and Romney were within single digits of each other, but in the end it came up to a 15-point difference. And swings of 3 to 5 points are usually considered pretty dramatic. So to see Clinton come out on top after a 15-point loss in 2012, that'd be pretty unlikely. Instead, the thing to watch is what the margin is the margin tightening, and if there's some down ballot effects in the local races.
Gotcha. So we are less than a week away from our new president being announced. Do you think Americans are ready?
Well, that's the question everyone's asking. This campaign has been extremely divisive. Both candidates have gone negative in their campaigning, and everyone's wondering if the country can come together and unite after the president is announced. But even if Americans can unite, can the candidates unite and kind of accept the results? Trump has said that if he loses, he might not accept the results because the campaign, this election, is rigged. So the question is what happens next? Will the coverage completely stop on November 8th? Probably not, you know, if Trump doesn't accept the election results, or people are really angry about the results, this could continue consuming news cycles until January 20th when one of the candidates takes office.
Well, thank you so much, Jillian. Just a reminder, early voting ends on Friday for those who want to beat the long lines on Election Day. And Election Day is next Tuesday, November 8th, which will also be the day that TSTV News Department will be hosting live coverage from 7 to 11 p.m. on Super Tuesday. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. Magician Giancarlo Bernini is here with us from one of TSTV's newest shows, Beyond Illusion.
That's right.
Welcome to GMTX. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So we're so excited to have you here to do some tricks. But first, we wanted to know, why did you get your show started on TSTV?
Well, the reason we started Beyond Illusion is I feel like everyone enjoys that awe and that wonder that comes from watching magic. And a lot of times you see those giant illusions on a stage, but taking that same awe and that wonder, that same excitement onto the streets of a college campus, groups of 3-4 people at a time, is kind of, it's more intimate because you're right there talking with the people. It's not like you're watching from far away on stage, but it's still just as exciting, just as fun. And on a college campus, you know, everyone loves magic, so.
Exactly. So speaking of magic, do you want to show us your tricks?
Yeah, so I have with me these cards. They've got some, I would say, emotionally charged words written on them. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to ask you to select one of these cards.
Okay.
Anyone you like.
I'm going to pick this one.
All right, there. Go ahead and take that. Now, I want you to memorize it, but don't let me see it. Just memorize what it says, and you can put it back.
I got it.
Perfect. So the reason we did these cards is, if I were to ask you to think of an emotion, most people just think of happy or sad, but these are very specific.
Right.
And so what I'd like for you to do is focus on what that feels like emotionally, okay?
Okay.
So, in fact, do you have a memory where you've experienced this before?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay, I want you to just visualize yourself in that memory, but just be thinking of that, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. And just concentrate. Can you hold your hand out just like this? Perfect. Just concentrate on that memory, okay?
Okay.
It's definitely in more of a negative emotion. Is it?
It is.
Keep thinking.
Okay.
This is, it's not really sadness, it's not anger, it's not really frustration. This is not, yes, are you thinking of stress?
I am.
It is?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Good job.
Actually, you know what? See if we can go a step further. Can you hold your hand
wow.
just
Okay,
again?
yes. Step further.
I want you to keep visualizing yourself in that memory, okay? Focus on what you're doing and what's happening. Now, this is a memory that's unique to you. It's one of your own experiences.
Yes.
No one else has experienced this exactly the way you have. This is from your childhood.
It happened to me. Exactly.
Perfect. Exactly. So just concentrate on that.
Okay.
There's something coming up. Keep thinking. There's something that's about to happen.
Yes.
It's like an event that you're going to do something, but you're already doing something. You're stressed about this event, but you're more stressed about what you're supposed to be doing right now. Are you cramming for an exam? Is that what you're thinking? If you're studying for an upcoming exam?
Yes, I think I was stressed about an upcoming exam. That's what it was.
You're thinking of?
Yes, that was it.
Perfect.
That was great. That was so crazy. Oh my goodness. Good job.
So, let's show one more thing here.
Okay.
If we have, well, Halloween.
I was trying to figure it out while he was doing that trick, and I can honestly say that I have
There's no
idea.
tricks.
It was magic.
That was real.
That's all.
That's perfect. So for Halloween, we had that big kind of clown scare that's been going on in the news, and so a lot of clown costumes got banned. I didn't get to wear my clown nose for Halloween, which I was pretty bummed out about. But the interesting thing about this is, just take a look at it. You can go ahead and feel that. That's just a regular clown nose, as regular as a clown nose is, of course. And you take it, if you just give it a little rub just like that, you can actually get split in half just like that.
Oh, wow.
It's really interesting. Here, watch. Okay. I'm going to take this one right here in this hand, and this one's going to go in this hand over here. Give a shake just like that, and this one just kind of jumps over there.
What? Where'd it go?
Can you hold your hand out just like this?
Yes,
Perfect. Take one over here. Can you squeeze this one as tightly as you can?
Yes.
Perfect. Why don't you watch this?
No, wait.
Take a look.
Okay, I have no idea how that happened. Absolutely no idea. There you go.
And we have time for one more? I just wanted to show you all this. This is my absolute favorite trick to do.
Oh, great.
This is a deck of cards, and the thing about this deck of cards is it's actually invisible. Not the box, the cards inside. Have you ever seen an invisible deck of cards before?
I have not.
Of course not, it's invisible, but I'm going to take the cards out, and I'm going to have you select one, anyone you like. Perfect. Once you show it to her, don't show me what it is.
Can you see it, Emily?
I can.
Perfect. Now put it back in there. Put it in upside down, though. Perfect. Can you give them a good shuffle? There's no wrong way.
Don't really know how to shuffle, so here we go.
There's no wrong way to shuffle invisible cards, but I'm putting them back in the box just like this. Give it a snap, and every single card appears inside. You probably don't believe me. You think the cards were in there the whole time, but no. These were the exact same cards that you were just holding a moment ago.
Okay.
What card did you pick?
An 8 of spades.
An 8 of spades.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So if I go through this deck of cards,
Oh man.
there's one card that's upside down, and that's the 8 of spades.
Wait. That's crazy.
Go ahead and take that. I knew you were going to
Okay.
pick it. It's the only card in the deck that has a blue back. Take a look. That's your card, the 8 of spades.
That's pretty amazing. I don't know. I have no idea how you just did that. That was amazing. There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Giancarlo.
Thank you all so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Be sure to keep up with us on Twitter and Snapchat throughout the week. You can follow us on both at Good Morning TX. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Avery Tanner.
And I'm Emily Craycraft. Have a great Wednesday, and don't forget to tune in to TSTV's election coverage next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Have a great week.